ESPN dropped their FPI predictions this week, and specifically, we're going to look at the Alabama season right now.
The Football Power Index.
It is. So basically, ESPN has us going 10-2. And guys, if you want to get in on the conversation here, you can. You can hit us up on YouTube at Off the Bench CFB Show, and you can hit us up on Facebook at Off the Bench. If you're on the radio side,
and on X,
stick there, come on over. Either one, you can hit us up on there in the comment section here on YouTube. Just come right on over. So Alabama.
Hold on, before you go too deep into this, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If right now it is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's July 18th.
Okay.
And somebody slid you a piece of paper, Bama's going 10-2. Do you sign it right now?
Yes. I'll sign it.
Okay.
Bama has the opportunity to go 10-2. I'll take it.
What if the 2 is Tennessee and Auburn?
Okay. So I'll tell you what. We're going to go through these, and I will give you the percentages on what ESPN predicts Alabama is going through, okay?
All right.
East Carolina is sitting at a 94.6%.
Ooh, it's going to be a tough game.
Tough game, right? Oh, get this, too. I read this week. East Carolina. Now, this is based a lot on previous years, this model that was used, and I do not remember the model that it was named. So it's based off previous off seasons coming into the jump, how that's going to do, right? East Carolina is the highest rated group of 16. Highest rated.
Well, way to go, East Carolina.
The East Carolina game going to be a shocker in Tuscaloosa when they get off to a hot start.
Appalachian State coming into town?
That's what a lot of people fantasize and want to predict, but I'm sorry for the Pirates. I think, are they the Purple Pirates or just the Pirates?
The East Carolina, I know their color is purple, but they're the Pirates. So, yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking Purple Pirates for. East Carolina's going to roll into town.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people want to fantasize of a hot start in shocking Tuscaloosa.
Oh, it's going to be hot in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, it'll be smeltering hot. Okay, moving on to week 2. This is the game that I think everybody is underrating for Alabama in Lexington. Kentucky and Alabama sitting at an 82.5% in favor of Alabama.
It would now be a good time to tell the audience what me and you agreed off the show yesterday.
We can do that.
So last week, the hostess with the mostest, Kelsey here, said that Kentucky was going to end the season top 25.
Yes.
I said they wouldn't make a bowl game. And so we have placed a small wager on this. If Kentucky finishes the season in the top 25, during the Alabama-Kentucky basketball game, I have to wear a Kentucky jersey.
Yes.
And if Kentucky doesn't make a bowl game during said game, you have to wear an Alabama basketball jersey.
Fair enough. If people do not know, I have a split allegiance to basketball and football. Football is strictly Alabama. Basketball is strictly Big Blue Nation in the wintertime.
And I, like a true fan, pull for Alabama, whether we're playing football, basketball, tiddlywinks, cheerleading, softball.
Yeah. This is, and if anybody wants to know, this has been explained more than 1,000 times on any other show.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
you can go check it out on there, right? Okay. There's also been another hot take that and they didn't go public this. We were talking about this after the show yesterday. If they want to go public with them, I'll let them. I won't name any names. They think that Dylan Raiola is going to win the job at Oregon.
Okay.
Now, there's multiple possibilities with this. Okay. If Dylan Raiola were to beat out Dante Moore over at Oregon this year, Dante Moore would end up in Kentucky next fall.
That's next fall.
Next fall.
That's not this fall.
No, it's not this fall. Okay. So Dante Moore. Okay. Let's say, and I put this opportunity out there. If that does not happen, then Dylan Raiola transfers to Texas Tech if he doesn't win this job next year. Continues the Patrick Mahomes mirror.
Texas Tech would need a good quarterback at that point.
They would need a good quarterback. Okay, week 3, Florida State. Alabama has an 81.7% of winning that football game.
So far we're over 80 in all 3 games.
Let's say we're 3-0 by this point.
Okay, I like it.
All right,
I like it. I'll take it.
South Carolina, sitting at a 78.8.
Ooh, we've dropped from the 80s.
Yes.
Hopefully, by the time we play that game, the temperature will be 78
Right,
degrees.
100%. Right. Okay. At Mississippi State, 85.2.
I feel like that's low.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think Mississippi State's going to be a strong team. I think Lebby is out the door by week 6.
Now that game could
Now this actually week 5. If I'm saying week 6, Alabama could put the nail in the coffin for Jeff Lebby.
it also could put the exact opposite. If they were to beat Alabama, Jeff Lebby might get a extension, a statue. They may rename the stadium after
him. Remember, this is a rivalry game.
Allegedly.
So it must be treated like a rivalry game.
Absolutely.
So in fairness, if he were to win that game, if Lebby were to take down the Crimson Tide in Starkville, that's an extension right there.
Yeah,
You got an extension waiting for your office the next morning.
That'd be a big deal.
It would be. All right. Georgia. This is when the tough schedule gets tough. This is the FPI ESPN's rankings first lost for Alabama at 41.8%.
That's still not terrible.
It's not.
I mean, when you're talking about we're 85 to beat.
Now, what sucks about this is also factoring in the home probability for this because you have home field advantage, which this year is in Tuscaloosa.
It's not taking into effect the Kirby Smart in Tuscaloosa usually doesn't work good for Kirby Smart, but
it doesn't. But it's a fun game.
Yep. I'll take. You know what?
Okay. So there's your first loss. You are 4-5. You're 5-1 by this point.
I'll take 41%.
Okay, at Tennessee in Neyland Stadium,
59.1%. That's too close.
There's your first one. There's where you get to thinking, but it is still a win according to ESPN.
Yep.
Okay, so you're 6-1 now.
Okay.
Texas A&M next week in Tuscaloosa, 58.2%.
Man.
I like that percentage.
I prefer 88%, but okay.
Yeah, but you're not going to get 88 with Elko and returning Marcel Reed at quarterback, who's a Heisman candidate. That is going to be a good team.
That stat right there reminds me of a question I want to ask you when we get done with this.
Right.
Okay.
Next week at LSU.
We get a bye.
Yes. Oh, you're right. There was a bye there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that on the sheet. I just had the games. At LSU at 43.8%. There's your second loss.
I
think LSU's too highly rated right now.
I do too.
It's the whole team. Okay. 3/4 of it is brand new. They've never been in Baton Rouge.
LSU has just as much of a chance of going undefeated this season as they do losing every game. Like with the team and the talent and everything they've put around them.
I also think that Lane Kiffin, it's a matter of time before he wins a national championship in Baton Rouge.
It just ain't this year.
I don't think it's this year, but I think it's a matter of time. It just depends how long it's going to take.
Yeah. I could see why they've got this. It is at Baton Rouge. It's going to be at night. I know they haven't announced that yet, but it's going to be the night game, assuming LSU's good at that point. Assuming LSU, like if you go by the stats, worst case scenario, Alabama's got 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia and A&M or Tennessee, one or the other. LSU could have 2 or 3 losses by this point.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a game that could go in with both teams having 3 losses or both teams being undefeated.
Look, the LSU season is going to be decided by what happens in Oxford.
Week 3.
Oxford decides this.
Yes.
Oxford decides the type of season Lane Kiffin has.
Yes.
Now, it could be a wake-up call for Lane Kiffin, and he just goes on a hot streak after he loses.
Mm-hmm.
Or he could get absolutely pummeled, kicked out of Oxford, ran out by the fans after a field storming.
Yep.
And
they did.
LSU's complete confidence is gone. Or he could win. He could win in fashion.
If Ole Miss hasn't already started the GoFundMe to pay the field storming fee for that game, they're missing an opportunity.
You know how much money Lane Kiffin has spent on his private jet issued by LSU? It's like over $100,000 already.
That's awesome.
All right.
I too, if I had a private jet being paid by somebody else.
All right. Next game at Vanderbilt, 75.6%.
Okay.
That's for Vanderbilt. Now, this is post Clark Leah. Or not Clark Leah. Clark Leah is still there, and that's the big home dog shot for Vanderbilt right there. That's what they're clinging on to right now is Clark Leah is still the head coach there. I wouldn't say for that long. I think he's going to eventually move on. But post Diego Pavia.
Oh, his mom won't be there.
Oh, that's the bad news. Anyways,
moment of silence for his mom gone.
With Pavia gone, I don't think Vanderbilt's going to be the same team. I think they're going to revert back to 7-5.
I find it interesting that they have Mississippi State was in the 80s and Vandy is in the 70s.
Right? I mean,
so
they're viewing Vanderbilt as a better team than Mississippi State.
By about 7 or 8%, if my math is correct.
Well, if that's going to be, they're going to be at the bottom point in the SEC. Now, it also says something about South Carolina, too, though, who's another team that could be on that step of right there in the middle of the SEC, but could be down there at the top end of the bottom. You don't know with Shane Beamer. Shane Beamer's in the hot seat, kind of. Lenore Sellers back quarterback. But, it's going to be, I don't know. South Carolina and Vanderbilt, those are two close teams with Mississippi State thrown in there as well. So so there's definitely that bottom part of the SEC. They're still giving them a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Chattanooga next week, 99.0%. I don't know where does that 1% come from?
I mean, I guess you kind of, there's always
benefit of the doubt, maybe?
There's always a chance.
I guess so. I guess any different Saturday, right?
Yeah.
All right. Then you have Auburn at 77.6% in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
The fact that wait a minute, Vandy was what? 75.6?
Yeah, 6.
Auburn's only 2% better than Vandy?
Yeah.
I guess Vandy is at Vandy.
Right.
And Auburn's in Tuscaloosa.
There you see on the YouTube side, we just put up the graphic of the win probability for it. So now that we can take that in, we see that the danger point toward this in the season is Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and LSU.
Yeah, we knew
all of those games under 60%, right? We know that going in. I think Georgia's rated correctly. Maybe a little bit too much in the favor of the Bulldogs. I
think that's about right.
Yeah. Why did I almost say Stetson Bennett? He's not the quarterback there. It's Gunnar Stockton, the quarterback there. I always confuse their names. Am I the only one that does that?
No, it's because Georgia's had like 7 quarterbacks for the last 8 years.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Georgia, you got a returning quarterback. He's efficient. He's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country in Gunnar Stockton. Okay. Tennessee is, because it's in Neyland, there is so much inconsistency across the board in Tennessee right now.
Yeah.
Their defense, I mean, they have a new defensive coordinator, but they lost what was his name? The Penn State transfer. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, the wide receiver. Yeah.
No, he's a defensive end.
No, the defensive end. Yeah. They also lost a wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
They've lost
there's inconsistently at Tennessee right now. I think there's a little bit of a culture problem happening there. And I think it's a problem that they brought in from transfers and invited a transfer or a culture problem within their building. So Tennessee is going to be weird, but it's in Neyland. So that is going to be a tough game for Alabama no matter what in Neyland. Texas A&M is probably going to be the most difficult game of the year.
If Alabama wins the other 8.
Yes.
And goes 2-2 during that stretch of 4 games. No one in their right mind would be upset with that.
Well, no, nobody would in their right mind would be upset with that, but
regardless of which 2, Georgia and LSU, we lose to both of them. We lose to Georgia.
You have to win 2 of these games.
Right.
You have to win what they're calling what I'm calling the danger zone, I guess. You have to win 2 of these games. You have to win Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, or LSU. You have to win. You can go 2-2 in that stretch.
Yes.
And you'll be fine. That is playoff football. Now, we're going to get a little deeper into this on the other side, talk about the playoff probability, and, of course, among other things within the FPI rankings of ESPN. Eli, hit us up on YouTube. Mississippi State surprised some people this season.
Mississippi State is always that team that beats one team they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But then they always lose to one team they're not supposed to.
Eli, Mississippi State has to invest in the football program rather than the baseball program. Because if you invest in football, it pays for the baseball program. But if you don't if you decide to invest in baseball instead of the football program, it won't take care of football and it won't take care of any other sports besides baseball. 7:30 a.m., 103.9 FM. Jocks Huntsville, we're in the middle of talking about the FBI rankings, courtesy of ESPN here, for Alabama this coming fall. And we've broke down the regular season and how they're predicting it to go for Alabama. Okay, the next step in this is their projected record, which ESPN is saying 8.6 wins and 3.6 losses. So on the high end, you're sitting at 10-2. On the low end, you're down at 8-4.
Yeah, which is a huge difference.
It is. I mean, that is
10-2. You're in the playoff.
9-3. You have a lot of questions. You're going into Selection Sunday with a prayer. 10-2, you're in.
Yeah, right.
Of course, it also depends on the SEC championship. Assuming at 10-3 or 9-3, you don't play in it. 10-2, you will play in it, and there's your guarantee.
Maybe. I don't know. This is me.
I mean, who else is going to go? I mean, Georgia, A&M,
Texas, depending on if we lose.
LSU, maybe. That's a long shot.
Yeah,
it's a long shot, man. Ole Miss.
All right, you ready for my crazy question for you?
Okay.
The state of Texas will have the same number of playoff teams as the Big Ten.
3-3.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that Texas A&M, and Texas Tech all make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So your Big Ten would be Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana.
I think between Indiana and Ohio State, depends on who wins that game, and depends on what Texas does. If Ohio State loses to Texas and then loses to Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Where does Whittingham sit in all this? How does Whittingham affect the Michigan program? Because you got a Bryce Underwood returning in Michigan.
I think you could have a season where what happened to the SEC last year, where the Big Ten cannibalizes itself because there's no actual superiority, like head and shoulders above team, and there's this round robin of winnings and losings, and Iowa beats somebody they're not supposed to. Wisconsin beats somebody they're not supposed to. So the state of Texas has the same number of playoff teams as the entire Big Ten.
I think Wisconsin's going to fall off the face of the earth. I think Luke Fickell is going to get fired and ended up back at Cincinnati, who's not in the American now. They're in the Big 12 now. So Luke Fickell in the Big 12 could be a success story, knowing he can't compete in the Big 10 with Wisconsin, but he could probably do it in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Now for Indiana, I think there is not a massive drop-off, but I don't think you have Josh Hoover is not the same quarterback as Fernando Mendoza for Cignetti over there. I think they're going to come up short of the playoffs, but almost make it. And Indiana fans have been hate me because they have been on my back consistently saying that I don't know football. I don't know ball because I take a take. And that's how it is. I don't know ball. I don't know ball, guys, especially when it comes to Indiana football. But Alabama, the playoff probability is 41.3%. The SEC championship probability at 10.4%. National championships at 3.7.